Hello everyone, hope you're well. Thank you for popping by. So over the past few weeks, with the terrible disasters and suffering of people in the United States, I know many of you have been moved in the XJW community with comments about how the Watchtower has not been helping people as per usual. They've not been practically helping people on the ground, not helping with needs, and you've been highlighting the past history of taking people's insurance checks without actually even doing the work to standard and leaving people in even worse situations. So you've shown very predatory practices, and you've been looking out to see if it's the same in these recent disasters, and it's still not been good. We've not found good examples of Watchtower help. So with that in mind, I was just wanting to highlight something in case it's useful for anyone about Watchtower and its charity status, and indeed any organisation with a charity status. Now, this is particularly applying, these words are applying to the USA, but I'm sure they will apply in other countries. So obviously a big issue of someone being registered or something being registered as a charity is the tax relief. Now, why do organisations get tax relief as a charity? Is it because governments think, well, yeah, we need charities, that's a good idea, let's give them a hand. We know that governments aren't particularly generous when it comes to tax situations. Now, according to Charles Ortel, I'll spell his last name, O-R-T-E-L, an American guy. He's about the main guy looking into aspects of the multi-billion-dollar layered Clinton Foundation. So you'll find interviews with him around the net, you'll find his website. So do look him up. Now, he says the reason why charities get tax relief or paying zero tax is because they relieve the burden on the state. So that makes sense, doesn't it? If we think of the churches that do good, they can relieve the burden on the state. They may do outreach programs, they may have food banks, one-on-one things, caring for elderly, going to their homes, to isolated people, turning up as human beings, let alone as organisations, in disaster areas, helping on the ground floor without top-heavy government organisations having to go in and do the work. We can see how everyone benefits. So do Watchtower fulfil that? Well, it could be said that using Bible teachings, they can help people turn their lives around, get straighter, have stronger families, perhaps. But how many thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon millions of people can attest that Watchtower also do the opposite and add a burden to the state? The way that they split up families again and again and again, and it's continuing. The damage that does. The mental health problems that Watchtower causes very directly, causing PTSD, causing depression, and things like that do turn people, or can turn people. They can turn people to drugs and alcohol, to self-medicate. And that's important to remember before anyone starts judging. People self-medicate just to get out, just to survive. So there's aspects, they do a lot, it could be said they do a lot of damage as well, whilst very often keeping their own members in poverty, stopping people from getting an education. Either that can sometimes, depending on the families of young people, can stop, the families can directly stop someone getting an education, or the pressure brought to bear is just too much. So that can impoverish society, meaning that there are less doctors, for instance, less people. I mean, you can do a lot without an education, okay? Everyone without an education is valuable and has something to contribute. So it's not just people with an education. But we do need people as well with educations. And if they're on a better income, it could be argued that they can help their families better and those around them better. So I'm sure you may be able to think of a lot more ways that Watchtower do not benefit society. Please put them below the millions of things that I've missed. But remember that Watchtower get their tax eases, their tax easements, their tax opt-outs due to relieving the burden on the state. Just another thing to consider for those that are targeting Watchtower where it hurts them most, in their wallet. Okay, thanks ever so much for listening again, and hope the start of your week has been good. I do hope that those down in the states affected by these disasters are getting their lives back together again. I cannot imagine. Thank you to those XJWs such as Jerry Jones who've let us know that they're okay. I mean, he was hit, but they're no one was injured, at least in his immediate environment, and they're cleaning up and getting things repaired and back together. So I do hope that you are getting things back together. It must be so hard. I can't even imagine where to start. We've had a lot of flooding and things where I live the past couple of years. I mean, really, really bad flooding, 6 feet odd. And it's been very hard for people. Okay, thanks again. Lots of love to everyone. Bye.